starting 2020 the right way, hanging out false out of the family. We got to sit through a whole team this time, over at Craft and Growlers because we were trying their brand new beer, a beer about nothing, and it's fucking phenomenal. So head over to Craft and Growlers and get you some. But it was a fun podcast. We just hung out, talked about false idol, expectations about opening and things they're planning for, and asked Will a few questions about his brewing process and what he's interested in, and actually talking to him, because this is my first time actually sitting down talking to him. So it was a fun podcast. I hope you guys enjoy. Look for the false idol opening, and then go to Craft and Growlers and try the new beer about nothing. Cheers, guys. Cheers. Congratulations, brother. All right, Victor. So we have a new beer out, and we started this podcast for you.
Victor?
What's up?
Oh, Victor?
You introduced yourself when I was on audio as Victor.
Oh, yeah.
So 2020, guys, we made it. This is a day, as they saw, trying to be a little bit more professional and get the sound right. But we started a new podcast here, fresh, with False Idol family, and have a new beer out. One thing, if you guys look at my crazy drunken Observer Fest video, in that video, Dom says they're just getting started. They're gonna get better and better and better. And I'm saying right now, just a spoiler alert, this beer is fucking phenomenal. So first and foremost, thank you for making the beer. It's just delicious.
Yeah. Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to you guys opening. So welcome, guys, to Drunken Public. We got Grey Wolf in the back, Papa Dom. Sorry, Kevin?
Will.
Kevin? Why did I say Kevin?
Not Kevin.
You better edit that.
I know. Yeah, I know.
I'm keeping it in. No, I'm keeping my flaws in. Keeping my flaws in 2020 because I got to hold myself accountable. Well, and he said it on the last podcast that just dropped too.
Well,
Shit.
I said well now. Well?
Yeah.
What's up, Well?
Did I say well?
Yeah, you did.
I don't know. I guess I'm keeping all that in.
It's that New York talk. That's
Yeah.
God damn it, that sucks.
Yeah, it's his first podcast.
Yeah, it's my first podcast.
You can just
ever.
call him Chef,
His
and we
first-
say our
it's his first
compliments
one.
to the
Yeah,
chef.
no problem.
Oh, yeah. Well, I wanted him early, but yeah, we finally got announced that you're the head brewer.
Head brewer.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what you pick your flavor. You just call him master when you see him at the brewery.
But
Master-
the mastermind behind the beers we've had. So.
Yeah. All the delicious beers.
They've
Trust
been
my baby.
well received in the market, so a lot of hype.
I'm glad. Thank you.
Excited.
I'm really excited to get going.
Brandon.
I was gonna say, you just ruined my joke. I was gonna call him Noble Ray.
This is Brendan.
Brendan. What's up, Brendan?
Brendan, yeah. Brendan.
Noble Ray.
Well, that just ruined it. But what's going on, brother? Long time no see. Are you still working with partner helping out Noble Ray, that crew?
For now. Yep.
Still nice of you. So nice of you. And then we got, of course,
What do you say it like that?
well, it's nice of him. He's helping out.
It's not charity.
I mean, I know you're paying him, but it's just nice. Did that sound sarcastic?
I know.
I didn't mean it that way. I'm sorry, man. Don't worry about it. I didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean it that way at all. I'm just saying that's really nice of him. He has a lot of knowledge in the industry.
You had that low brim to hide that eye roll.
No, let me turn that back.
There you go.
I apologize. He has a lot of knowledge in the industry. and He can help anybody. Yeah, and he's helping them. I didn't mean to be sarcastic. And then we got the man with the master plan back there, Robert, doing bigger and better things. Letting us come hang out here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely,
that's
man.
really cool.
Appreciate it.
We're OG spot, and of course we're super excited. We've been lucky enough to get everything that you guys have dropped on us so far in the market, and it's just been pretty kick-ass to be able to release that. And hell, there was excitement. Dom and I were laughing about it. There was a guy, I remember, it was before the first one even dropped, and I was wearing a False Idol shirt, and he was like, "Oh, False Idol, you know those?" Like, yeah. He's like, "Man, I love their beers." Like, yeah, you're right. We egged it on a little bit, like, yeah, man, this is pretty kick-ass, But no, since then, I think that's been the general consensus among the beer, and so
He was from the future.
he was from the future. He came back, he was dropping that knowledge on me that I didn't know at the time, But no, we're excited, and this is just another kick-ass one to add to the lineup. So, like I said, you guys are doing it right. Keep that product out there, and we're gonna sling it no matter what because it's kick-ass beer. But when the beer does all the speaking for itself, we don't have to do anything else but pour it up and say cheers.
Cheers to that.
Appreciate from Craft and Growlers to False Idol brand.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody here is family.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep.
What I think I'll be was funny for me, side note, a few weeks ago, someone asked me about an employee there because I'm always wearing a hat. You just post a picture of me on the page. He's like, oh, I didn't know you work for False Idol. I was like, I don't. I don't work for False Idol, but
I'm just a groupie.
yeah,
I mean, yeah.
I'm just a fan. I was like, I'm just a fan, always wearing this stuff everywhere.
I think it worked, man. I got some like DMs from like people like, hey, how do I support you guys? Like, I want to be, because like they see you and Brad like, and I keep pushing because like I have so many pictures of you and Brad wearing the hat.
Yeah.
So it was a long way. It's like, yeah, they don't work for us. They don't have to wear our stuff. So it's really cool. Appreciate that. For sure.
Anything. You guys are well known in history. You guys are family. You know, everybody respects you guys, and will too, or well, you know, whichever we're gonna say. Highly respected. You know, people love your beer without even knowing you. When he finally did make the picture post about you coming over, people were excited.
I saw nothing but good things that people had to
I
say.
think it was mostly my
Awesome.
family that commented, but
Don't ruin it.
No, it
Yeah,
was
but sometimes
excitement.
those are the worst critics.
Yeah.
This is true. Family are sometimes the worst critics in a loving way. Sometimes,
Yeah.
you know. But
Hopefully.
no, it was a lot of buzz. For me, how I judge buzz on a personal note is people behind the scenes. I'm lucky enough to be friends with some people in the industry. Some people were excited. You know, some people who didn't say anything, I'm just gonna put it on my ass. They're on the board. I don't care. But people who did talk about like Robert and stuff, everybody was excited. We were excited because we knew behind the scenes you were coming. But
yeah.
it was fucking have a great beers. The last time we did Friendsgiving here, what was that stout you brought over? That shit was fire.
The porter.
Porter?
It was your vanilla, the barrel aged porter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I was sharing some of the Elk Valley stuff. But
Oh,
it's
yeah.
still what you made, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, sure product. So yeah, because I gave him a can of magic juice like early on. I think I gave you one because you brought down a lot, and so I was spreading it all over the place.
Oh, cool.
And so everyone was like, "This is awesome." I remember that was the first beer everyone tried, and then I think it was the pills,
The pills was fire.
Oh, yeah.
10 killer.
10 killer, and then I know Nemesis has been a common one coming down. So yeah, everyone's been a big fan of everything. I mean, there's certain for a little bit like, oh, I like pilsners. You make sure you give the person that likes the pilsners
Right.
the pilsner. So,
Yeah.
I think he's laid the groundwork for what you're probably going to get, you know, being in Dallas, so many people, they're going to ask you, where were you at, what'd you do before, you know, all those details. They're going to want to know your history, your blood type, social security number.
Pretty much. All the beers would definitely answer that question.
But that's good. I mean, I don't know if you want to loop me in a little bit on, a little bit where you kind of came from your background for, at least prior to False Idol, but I know some of those places already have their well-established following, that type of stuff, so kind of carrying that, bringing that over the False Idol brand, I think that's something that's pretty exciting for people. Just, when Dominic mentioned, your background to me, I was like, yeah, I'm very familiar with, kind of where you came from, but I know that's something people are gonna ask.
Yeah,
of course.
yeah, of course. Yeah, I came, most recently I lived in Oklahoma City, and I was head brewer at Elk Valley Brewing.
The beer scene up there too, man.
Yeah, it's going strong. Before that, I was in Denver and Colorado, and I was brewing at Trinity in Colorado Springs, and then I was at a little nano, a little 7-barrel brewery called Barnett and Son. I had a little stint at Prost for a bit as well in the Highlands in Denver. And then before that, I lived in Oklahoma City the first time, and I helped start up Anthem, and then before that I was with a brewery called Redbud that's not around anymore.
who was the person that was with Redbud?
It was me and a guy named Chase Healy. So the brewery got taken out by a tornado in like 2013, I want to say. That's Oklahoma.
It is Oklahoma.
Well, so
Yeah. So the tornado took out the brewery, and it was like right after Chase like pieced out. Like it just wasn't working out for him. And so he left, and at the same time he started a brewery called Prairie Artisan Ales. And then since then, now he is at American Slayer. So that's my life story.
You're in good company, man. With
Yeah.
and like I said, what you picked out, so that's exciting. Like I said, I'm familiar with Elk Valley and their growth in Oklahoma City, so that's exciting for those guys. So like that's just bringing more talent back to DFW. So
You spent time brewing in God's country, Colorado, which is where we're from.
I love
So it fits you not only into our False Idol family, but into our Van Alsco family too.
Can I live there part time? Does that work? I miss Colorado a lot.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful place.
It is. I stay away from the winter though. I am not a winter fan.
Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't get along well in
I
Colorado.
don't do well. I'm from New York City. I hate the winter.
Ah.
Huh.
I don't
It's
like
just
the
different
cold.
winter.
Huh?
It's a different winter than New York.
Colder. Yeah, I've been up there in the winter. It's colder.
And it's dirty and stinky.
What, New York City or? Oh no. I'm
That's
talking
what
about-
Lisa
I'm
said.
talking about Denver and 30 and
Oh no,
stinky.
I'm talking about
Too much grass.
Denver's
Too much
crazy.
trees.
Yeah,
Too many
that
trees.
doesn't
You
smell
can
bad.
smell like
Smell
actual
nature.
oxygen.
Yeah, I don't want that. I'm not an
Fresh air.
outdoorsy guy. I'm big city, all the smog. I take all that in. Shelter, running water. I love all that stuff.
What is the stink of those trees?
Yeah.
It smells like fresh air in here.
Fuck that, no. I want
that a garden? What the hell
cologne
is
and
that?
vomit and beer in
So
here.
yeah, so Victor's like air fresheners are like specific to New York City smog and
Yeah,
versus
trash day on
mountain
Tuesdays.
air.
Walk around the block, get that trash
come
in your
on,
face.
man.
Yeah.
All coffee.
He loves the
Like-
smell of a
like
good
those-
trash strike.
You don't wait. When you walk into a New York City subway, you see an empty car on a busy day. That's bump smell in there. That's classic. You can't get rid of that.
Yeah.
So you just like burn trash in your house with like some bacon grease.
For memories, yeah. For memories. I got
Right
my-
now he's like, oh, I'm thinking.
It's like,
Only like a bottle.
no, that's the candle. Bacon grease trash. That's the
That's
candle.
classic. You can't get rid of it.
Hey, Victor, so let me ask you a question. To want to bring it back to Will really quickly, did you notice how when they really were like, all right, we're kicking off all this work, fix up the brewery, and we're bringing Will in? That was just an extra hand to get some work done. Wasn't it? That was already paid
Yeah,
for
you
labor.
didn't think about it like
I
that.
didn't see anything. They were like, we're going to keep it to the side. They're like, all right, hey, things are going. We're tearing down walls. We're doing this.
need
By the
extra-
way, we got our brewer coming in.
I didn't think about that. That's so true. You need extra hands. Bring them down. It's like, we got you, bro. Come on.
All the hands.
Tear down these
All
walls.
hands on deck right now.
How is the facility going? How's
It's
it?
moving. Well, we have one obstacle that we're dealing with right now. There's always something.
Always positive.
But Encore, since our building's not 3-phase, so that's going to be the biggest thing, kind of holding everything up right now.
Okay.
But everything else is moving. I don't even have a time frame. Like I would say, I shoot. Hopefully next month we'll be done with like a lot of the big things. And then like it's just something else. Just waiting on that.
It's fine. Like I said, we're gonna just speed positivity is gonna move along just right. Time comes.
Yeah, once
Yeah, right.
October, we were looking good. Everything was moving quick. We're like, oh, we're gonna be done in like December.
No, like I
The
said,
holidays happen.
the holiday season happened. We slow down. People gotta take vacation. That's all it is.
It is. Yeah.
Speaking
That's
positivity.
exactly what's happening. Yeah, we're moving. That's
Yeah,
all.
we're moving. So, Will, since you were officially on the first time on the podcast, and Albert's been doing a great job actually interviewing you.
Yeah, he was.
Shout out to the new co-host of that Beer Talk.
Move over, Victor.
No, I'll move. I'll just stay behind the camera all day.
Can I plug? This is where I plug my upcoming podcast.
Tell me.
Just-
You gotta watch it, so you should.
So next time on
Barbecue and beer. You should do a barbecue and beer podcast. I swear to God, you should.
It's
But
coming up.
Will, what's the go-to beer you like to brew, or anything that you enjoy brewing, or just all of it?
I'm kind of all over the map. I really like brewing lagers. Probably lagers, IPAs, and stouts are probably my favorite. But I mean, we're gonna do a lot of stuff. Like I have a pretty good background in mixed fermentation, so we're gonna get that going pretty soon.
Really?
We get our spot going. Barrel aged stouts, IPAs, lagers. The spread. Nothing's really off limits. I mean, I wouldn't hold out too long for like an American Amber, but you never know.
I mean, you never know. Whatever floats your boat, you can do whatever you want.
I know we talked about doing a half. I know. So I'm kind of excited for that. More on the business side of it, just seeing what hefs can do in this market. So we did talk about doing that. So.
Yeah, we're gonna have a hef at our opening,
Nice.
and yeah, I'm excited to kind of have a nice spread.
I like beer. I like beer, of course. No, I like breweries with a little bit more of a contrast of different styles, not just to one or two, or maybe just three styles. I like a little more contrast. I've been a big advocate for Intrinsic because of their contrast of styles. They have so many different beers they put on tap at one time, which I really enjoy. So I'm looking forward to see what you bring to the table because if you like brewing it all, like try them all. So I might have to move closer to North Richland Hills.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Speaking of that, was there a reason for North Richland Hills, or is it just the business side of it, of property and everything?
It kind of, we looked at a lot of places, and it seemed to fall in. It was a good fit for us because there's not a lot of breweries out there. Right now, there's 2, Turning Point, Brutal, up the street. So we're gonna have a couple neighbors, but there's a lot of people and not a lot of breweries. So they need beer. People like beer, and we're there to give it.
Rent's cheap. Dallas rents. So we looked at a lot of stuff in Dallas, and the rent is
Yeah.
And you're right.
at least 3 times as much we were like find like what we it's a lot less.
Yeah,
So-
we could.
and the airport helps.
The facility that we have out there, we couldn't touch over here in Dallas, near the same price. And we're gonna have plenty of parking, 3 sides. Brandon has some good ideas about what we could do with some of this extra space on the weekends. Maybe we have farmers market.
Yep.
Because we're not only a neighborhood-like brewery, we're actually in a neighborhood.
There's a house right behind the building.
Yeah.
That's when the
We're on
neighborhood
a
starts.
street. Yeah.
Yeah.
They smell grain and all that.
So the funny thing, Dom and I, the last 2 weeks when I was on vacation, I was working there, pushing dirt and stuff. And every day we're there, one of the neighbors comes over and talks to us. Hey, I live down the street. I'm looking. When are you guys opening? That's the biggest question.
of distillery?
Yeah.
It's always yeah.
They're looking for liquor.
In my
Like,
shine.
They're looking for something. That's
Get my shine.
Yeah.
true.
Hey, man.
Yeah, a guy named Larry comes by every day. He's a friend of ours already.
Hey, shout out to Larry, man. Probably won't watch his podcast.
Shout out to
Shout out to you, Larry.
The wood guy?
Larry makes wooden stars.
Yeah,
Cheers to you, Larry.
See you, Larry.
He lives behind Chuck E. Cheese. We met a lot of them. We were at a festival at the skating rink last year, and a lot of them came through and just they connected with us right away.
Yeah.
And they made it clear that we need to open soon.
Yeah. They like to drink. They drink hard. They drink heavy, and they stay
They
local.
came back. I think most of them came back multiple times, because we had the French Toast Imperial Stout.
Yeah.
Return of the Stack.
Kind of sounds delicious.
For that, and that was actually the debut of it. But since it was a more low key festival, didn't have as much to talk. But like we got a lot of the locals involved with it, so we already know that they're gonna come asking for that one.
Yeah, we had people coming in
Oh yeah, well, they got a keg
a
of
couple
it.
weeks after that.
You got the stacks. You got the stacks back there.
It's like,
That's
dude,
where-
when's the
that's
last time
where-
you slept?
That's where Will showed his range, I thought. Where he not only does a great hazy, he loves to make the pilsners, but that stout,
We haven't done a pilsner
that
yet.
stout was awesome.
Well,
It was-
so far we've touched. So it's like dry hop blonde. I think was kind of like a variation of that.
yeah.
Hazy IPAs, and then the French Toast Imperial Stout. And then we actually one of my favorite ones is the English barley wine
Yeah.
that we did.
I want you guys to try it one time.
That was
Train to
solid.
Valhalla.
Trying to Valhalla.
I never even got the chance to try it a lot. Like I had one sip of it.
We did just crowlers. I think we had 20 crowlers in that one. So it was just for Buckapalooza homebrew festival-ish kind of thing.
Yeah.
Commercial breweries.
Yeah,
kinda go.
new breweries.
Newer
are
breweries.
upcoming.
Yeah, and Jeff and those guys are pretty cool about that because when they were opening the restaurant, a lot of other restaurants would say, "Hey, you guys can come in after we're done and like close, like and do pop-ups for friends and family to try to raise money." So they continue to try to help other breweries because that's where they can.
Oh, that's what's up.
go.
I didn't realize that was
That's
the
why
story
they do
behind
that. Yeah,
it.
that's
No,
why
I
they
did
do
not
that.
realize that was the story behind that. That is an awesome story.
So he actually asked us for the anniversary, and I was like, we're good. Like it was kind of really close to like just a lot of things, but obviously we're always gonna go over there to support them. So
Yeah. No, the Return to Stack was delicious. I think was it 14%?
12 something, 12 and a half, 13, 13.1.
I would say it was close to 14.
Because I remember we talked about it. He was like, I'm really, obviously as humble as it sounds like, he was like, I'm really proud of this, and it's really hard to make a beer this high ABV and still have that mouthfeel. And I was like,
Right.
had
It,
to-
it had
a
the
lot of
drink,
those high ABV beers are really thin. And
it had the
I thought it was
drinkability
really
of
good.
6% when
Yeah,
it had
it
a
did,
14% ABV.
We slipped that onto the menu, and the word traveled very quickly. We didn't post. Hey,
probably
we
gone
got
in, like,
this. We just
2 days.
Yeah, it was. No, I think it was faster than that, but it was just people were coming in.
Yeah, that one went on, and then
Flowers,
like it wasn't Bad Grandma's. It was
not bad grandmas.
Tight effort? Or the trust fund base?
Shoddy B,
Shiny B.
The
and
blonde.
then
There was something else.
Yacht.
Yeah.
and then I think you even got Faded Love.
Faded Love. That's right.
Which, so
Yeah, that was-
we got mixed reviews, like because when we had 2 IPAs, obviously everyone's like, I like that one, and so But I don't know. I got kind of 50-50 from consumers.
I think faded love is when people were like, that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were all good, but no, that return to stack is the reason why my observer
Back
fans
then, you start going like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had that beer went straight to IHOP after that.
No, I wish I should have.
No, Waffle House.
I should have, but I stayed out and did interviews. Is that
Wait, did you use that footage?
I did.
Okay.
I used the footage of me getting stupid drunk. I repeat myself. I kept it, so I had 4 hours of footage from Observer Fest of me being drunk. But I only kept the interviews with breweries. I walked up there and said, "You're the best." And I did that 8 times.
You do that the other way too, though.
What?
Hey, come try our beer. I won't say the name of the breweries, but I remember you told me one story explicitly. Hey, you guys should come try. I don't like your beer.
Yeah.
And they're like, why not?
No, I did that. That was unfortunate. I kept that. I took that out. No, but I thought it'd be funny because I said in the beginning, like I did a little mini intro. I drank a lot of high ABV beers, and I wanted to say Return to Stack, but I couldn't remember at the moment I was doing the intro. But that's the reason why I got fucked up. That's 14% fucking beer, and I
So
walked.
it's blaming you.
Not blaming you. I'm blaming myself for my lack of intro.
He was drinking it when we were pouring it really slow too.
Oh, before.
Yeah, 'cause
yeah.
before you fixed it.
yeah.
Yeah, so he was over here like sitting there like waiting, like handshaking, like
little bit.
filling up his taster, walks away, comes back, gets some more, walks away. Then you fixed it, and he's like,
Yeah.
I don't have to wait.
yeah.
Yeah.
So are those going to be part of the lineup, or is Return of the Stack going to be something that people get to revisit, train about how the ones that didn't get, or were those just showcasing kind of what you can do?
I think that we'll definitely. We're not going to be rebrewing every single beer that has been like sampled and released, but a lot of them will be. I think those two will definitely come back.
Variants of some.
Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely bring some back. I don't think we're planning to have like a traditional flagship. These are our flagships, and then we have like a couple of other ones. We'll have some
That's
that
the way to go at it.
we'll have some beers that are more often on tap than others, but I like to keep it fresh. I mean, I like trying new beers from good breweries, so I think other people do too. And it seems to be the way the market's trending as well.
Well, it keeps it interesting for you. It's like if you want to do the same thing every day, you're like, all right, I gotta brew the lager now. All right, guys, same routine, get bored and shit.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's the game now too. The beer game and industry has changed. Like we see bottles on the shelf that we didn't used to see sitting, and I think that's what the beer consumer, they like something new all the time. It's
I can
the
definitely
now
see that.
generation.
And you always have to be on your toes and be able to adapt. That's the name of this. You always have to adapt. So if that means that we have what you're talking about, North Virgin Hills, blue collar, town loyal. Well, part of that probably means that if you got them hooked on something, and if something's selling really well, then maybe it's something that you've got to keep in the house for a little bit. But it doesn't mean, like you said, you're gonna have 10 cores and this is what we get, and then 2 rotators kind of thing. That's not going to happen. But if you as a brew pub, if you have like something that across the gamut that this is a badass dry hop pilsner or whatever it is that is kind of more of a wider hallway beer, so to speak, so that you can engage those customers, bring them in and get them in. Then that's what you can do. So
I like it. The only thing about it, nothing bad about it. It's just that I love North Virgin Hills people. They're hardworking people. They're not simple by any disrespect. They like the same routines. So, but once you get into the routine of they have different variants of beers from time to time. They might have the beer I like often, but they might be variants. Once they get into that routine, they're gonna be great people to hang out and drink there. Similar to what I was telling talking to Carrie from Intrinsic. That's how they had to get the people of Garland, because they're the same way. Hardworking people who stay super local to loyal to local, I should say. And once you get into the routine, there's different beers from time to time. When I come in here, it's gonna be something new. Once they get into that routine, they stuck with it. They're with it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I totally agree. And I think it's important for what I'm wanting to do. I want to have the crazy double dry hop, hazy IPAs, and big stouts and things like that. But I want to try real hard to always keep at least one lager on tap, because the fact of the matter is a lot of people like craft beer, but they don't like getting too far from what they're used to.
It's also
Yeah,
kind
so,
of
like-
refreshing to go back to a traditional clean style,
Oh,
whether,
for
even
sure.
if it's just a classic American or West Coast IPA, or like you said, just a really crisp, clean lager. You know, kind of break up, you know, a couple hazies, a couple
I
stouts.
think there's
Yeah,
two
I
types
love
of craft
lagers.
beer like people. There's you go through this process. You either you start at IPA because most of them do. It's like I want something hoppy. And you drink the hoppiest beers ever, and I think hazy kind of like shoots that up. And then you go through the journey of whatever beers. Some people stay in this cycle forever. IPAs and stouts, which is him. And then some people go back and then they try everything, and then lagers are just like it's just kind of that like it's safe, but it's also like it is refreshing. It's not like typically they're not high ABV.
It just breaks it up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, it's like having something that I hadn't had,
Clean,
you know,
changes the pace.
10 years ago, like I said, a really good West
Don't
Coast.
forget,
It just breaks it up, you know. It's
I
like,
grew up in a time when there was only those beers. There was only Coors Light and Bud Light and regular Coors Banquet and
Hey,
Budweiser, King
can't
of
go wrong with
Beers.
Hey,
Banquet
Banquet's
beer.
great.
The original beer, that's delicious. I still drink this to this day, that Banquet beer.
I love that.
Yeah, Banquet's great.
It breaks my heart that I can't get it everywhere as much now as in Colorado.
You can find it pretty easily.
You gotta go to the hood.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
gotta go to the
I
hood.
gotta go to the
No,
hood.
you don't.
Right down the street,
It's
they always
not
got this
that.
Banquet beer.
It's not good. Get out of here. Banquet's pretty. It's not as easy, obviously, in Colorado.
But if that was the only beer that you guys could have, you wouldn't like it anymore.
what about the beer? Just beer, the white can.
White can beer.
Nah, we were,
It was-
your dad's not that old.
It was a wasteland. I tell you, I am that old, and it was a wasteland. It was awful. I actually stopped drinking that beer.
Yeah, was it
It's like
Mississippi Mud or something?
1991.
The milk jug?
Gave it up. Haven't had those since then. And after that, I went and tried European stuff, and then in the 21st century, that's when I started to do more craft beer stuff. And then
Colorado was big for that.
yeah, and then Dom, when I started drinking with Dom, God.
Big mistake.
Yeah, I know.
Now look at
You know, every
Chug
fucking
this
podcast
Banquet.
I have is with this guy. Every podcast I have with other people, I'm like, I'm coherent, I'm alert. Every time I have a podcast with this guy, I'm fucked up.
you. You're doing pretty good so far.
Yeah, I just want to hold in my beer too. I'm like, trying to make sure I don't drink too fast.
I'm gonna go grab another round.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Rob.
I don't chug. No, but how do you feel about hard substance?
I used to make them.
Ruin it? Ruin it?
I brewed them at the last brewery I worked at. I don't know if also I was going to brew them.
Nah, I'm just joking. But if you do, you know I'll be in line first to buy it. I love that shit.
I
What's
mean,
Hard seltzer?
I'm not going to lie to you. I like them too. But like,
My wife likes them.
I drink
Truly?
LaCroix.
Well, I mean,
Soft.
you know, you know, trying to like, again encapsulate a lot of more people into it. You know, if that's something that needs to be an option, you know, then it will be.
Yep.
Appreciate
So,
that. Honestly,
I-
I too.
Yeah, I mean, I can pretty easily make it, and it's not hard.
and it keeps, you know, somebody that has that kind of option, you know, without having liquor on premise, right?
Yeah.
So be a beer and wine
Yeah.
retailer,
Yeah,
right?
well,
So it gives somebody who's like, well, I don't really drink beer. Well, they have this. All right, let's all go.
I would see. I'd rather see like ride. Let's say False Idol did make a hard seltzer. I'd rather drive to False Idol and get me a 4-pack or 6-pack of hard seltzer than buying Truly any day of the week. Even though Truly wouldn't sponsor the podcast, that's all right though. You know, I'm not hurt by it. Even though I represented you guys all in 2019. You know,
You asked them, and they said, not
I
you.
email them.
Yeah.
I email them every month.
You're on it in 2018, not even just last year. You're already on it.
No, 2019.
She said 2018.
Did I?
So
My
I
bad.
was like, man,
My
I was
bad.
like, you're on it. I was like, I think that's before they came out. So
No,
I was
no,
like,
it wasn't actually. It's funny you say that because I went to a Bacon and Beer Fest in Denver, and it was in Mile High Stadium. Like we're on the field, it was cool and everything. But like, I remember seeing the hard seltzer booth.
Well, I meant Truly. I meant Truly.
And I saw, yeah, and I saw
Oh, it's
Truly.
Truly.
And I was like, why would you want alcohol in a seltzer? Like that's the beauty of it is that it's water.
Well, so,
And obviously, what did I know? Because we know
A year
what
later,
happened.
it
Yeah.
blew up.
But yeah, there was a couple of them. And I was like, what the heck?
the answer that you should have interpreted as yes, we are going to have it is when I told you that my wife liked it.
Oh, I like
Our
that.
facility, the way we're setting it up, you know, we have a pretty good sized tap room.
Yes.
And so it's gonna lend itself to people sitting. You know, maybe something where they come and they sit in a laptop or hang out for a long period of time. So having things like seltzers and low ABV stuff, and
Not
you know,
gonna
maybe-
fill them up. They can, keep on drinking.
Yeah, so they can hang out. So, we're trying to make it comfortable. We're going to have a big inside tap room, and then we're going to have a nice patio, which will be east facing. So those people who like shade in the evening, they're going to get shade, which is a big important thing here in Texas.
Yeah. Definitely some shade.
Shade's good.
You gotta survive somehow.
Oh yeah.
So, tentatively, we're gonna have an epic opening. What's the plan for it? Beer pong. A lot of chugging.
No, I think we want to.
Jugglers, fire breathers.
We'll probably use the whole property. We got 0.8 acres.
Elephants, giraffes.
Huge parking lot. So I think what we'll do that day is make sure we just close off like everything for use. And so
You guys should treat it like almost like an anniversary with
Yeah.
Pretty much.
glassware,
I mean,
a couple
yeah.
of things like
Yeah,
that. I feel like
and
the
this-
take jumping just like that.
and the
right
nice
away,
thing is
you
the
know?
city kind of expects it. They're
versus
like,
we're just open.
there's a weird rule in North Richland Hills is we can have 2 events that are not in the building but on the property a year. And so they're like, yeah, but you're going to use one of them for the opening. I was like, well, great. Now we have one. So they like every time after the 2, you're going to have to get it approved every time. So I was like, but this one, yeah, we'll I think probably Jockey Boxes. Kind of, it'd be like a mini festival anniversary.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely it'll be exciting for sure. We don't want to do it wrong. We want to make sure we can take care of however many people. If we have less, cool. We have a lot of room. If we have a lot of people, we want to make sure they can go
We
somewhere.
have no doubt. You guys have been around the industry long enough and been with multiple places with the experience. You know what.
We've seen a lot of anniversaries,
You'll know how
a
to
lot
do
of openings. We're going to have plenty of space, have some tents, a lot of seating, food, porta potties, and we have 2 brand new restrooms we built.
Yeah, we're all plenty of bathrooms.
Yeah, we need plenty of parking.
Yeah, the parking's
Yeah,
gonna be
parking's
awesome.
awesome.
So
I think
much parking.
to code, I think we have 44 spots,
43.
but we're gonna have.
It means like
No,
86.
that's pretty good.
No,
That's
honestly,
that's like one of the biggest things, Dallas.
We're probably gonna have, like,
North
60.
Texas, like how much parking do you have? It's,
Yeah.
especially in
Parking
Dallas,
price,
with
it's
how
all
much
here.
parking,
Yeah,
how much
it's-
parking, and so
It's a big deal. And
having that much parking is fucking huge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the thing similar to what Dom and Pop said was if they would have done it here in Dallas, they wouldn't have that parking option.
We got 6 spots,
Yeah,
Not
that's for
even that.
everybody who works here.
We looked at a spot downtown, which would have had obviously 0. We looked at one in like South Oak Cliff. I think it was gonna have like
4.
20. Was it 4?
I mean, it
was
was like
so small.
grandfathered. Yeah,
Yeah.
you would have to take some away. It's like
Yeah,
4.
we could negotiate with the church across the street.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
had to
they'd
talk
give
to
us
the
like
church.
10 maybe, and then there was one on Haskell that we looked at by E-Bar, which was gonna, I don't even, it was gonna be shared parking, and that was gonna, the rent was nuts on that. So,
Yeah, that was expensive. And we had like 8 spots.
Well, I like the spot. I don't know, it was like Voodoo was already in the works of opening in North Richland Hills. I know Turning Point was already there in that area. They're not in North Richland Hills, but
they're in Bedford.
they're close enough. They're close
They're
enough.
5 minutes from us.
They're like 2, if you do it on a map, they're like 2 miles away. It's not very far
They're
away.
close enough. Yeah, they're
It's
close
really
enough.
close.
They're down 26 and then Bedford Road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bedford Deals.
So, but it
Don't
doesn't.
want
And
anything.
then Brutal's like a
Yeah.
half mile
Well,
north
if
of
you
us.
just
Yeah,
take the road.
it's
They do
Yeah.
Brown Tail, right? Yeah, right.
Well, it's just a beautiful trinity. One thing I was having a problem with trying to like other breweries, like I said, I mentioned Intrinsic earlier. I love Intrinsic. I love the beers. I love what they're doing over there. I love the team over there.
Great facility.
Great facility. But the problem for them is the beer culture. They're the only ones really to go check out. So if you're gonna make a big drive out there, who else are you gonna go see?
Right.
Unfortunately,
Like, I mean, Oak Highlands and Lakewood.
but
Are,
you can buy the big beers that you want at stores.
Yeah.
It's not a mission for people who like beer to go check out those 2 facilities. But the difference between you guys is it's a trinity of great beer that you only can get really at those locations. You know, you'd be lucky enough to get some Turning Point at some locations. You'd be lucky to have some brutal beers at different locations. Same thing with Falsetto. You're not going to be in every location as far as tap handles. So it'd be
But
great.
right now, you can get this at Craft and Growl.
Craft and Growlers right now, brand new beer. Also, we didn't mention the beer we drink. Name of the beer we drinking. What's the
a beer about nothing.
A beer about nothing that's delicious in every sense of the word. Delicious. Like, it's fucking phenomenal.
What'd you put in this, Will? What's it made
Crack.
A bunch of grain, and a bunch of Citra and Lotus hops.
Nice.
5 pounds per 5 pounds
Yeah,
per barrel.
yeah. Double dry hopped, I guess technically, whatever that means. And then
PDH.
Yeah, and then yeah, it's 8.4%.
This is 8%.
Yeah, so
Shouldn't have chugged the last one.
it's a double, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah, I shouldn't have chugged that. No, it's delicious. I absolutely love it.
In hindsight.
Well then.
I shouldn't have chugged that beer, but it's just lucky that I think you guys were great partners. You're a destination for people from Fort Worth side, people from the Dallas side, and the Mid-City side. Go
That's
out
something
there.
they've been missing for
Yeah.
such a long time, really. I mean, I think Turning Point started that, and I think it's been a good
Addition.
idea for, like I said, for the hub wise. With so many, we get even here, we get tons of people from out of state. We're just looking for the local stuff and everything of that nature. We do push them towards, some of the highlighted breweries, that type of stuff, if they're going to visit other places. But already being right there as it is, I think that's just going to be, I don't believe somebody else is not going to jump into that as well, and just kind of do that. So the good thing is, you guys are in good company with Turning Point out that way, so.
Yeah.
Good guys.
I've actually got some collabs on deck with them in
Nice.
February, so that should be pretty fun. So that'll be a beer you probably don't want to chug. It'll be one of them will be a triple IPA.
I could chug it. I could chug it all.
Although JP told us he wanted to make it a quadruple IPA.
man.
So we'll see what happens. And
can
then,
check it all.
and then the
Quad
other
IPA.
collab we're gonna do is a barrel age. We're still not really sure if it's a barrel age beer that's gonna be released this year or next year. So
That's
we'll
a
figure
fair
that out.
question.
But that's two cool beers. We've known those guys for a long time, and they're buddies.
You worked there before a while.
I worked in the top from there, but we all worked together at Full Clip and
Nice.
Alex
Okay.
and community. So we've had a relationship for
A while.
Yeah.
Nice. No, that's awesome. That's it's one thing that's hilarious to me is that no matter what industry I moved into as far as this life, it's always a small, tight knit family that everybody knows each other. Medical field, like sports field, or now craft beer. Like everybody knows each other in some sense of the word. Maybe you know somebody who knows that person, or you're really close with that person's other best friend. It's so tight knit that it's beautiful to see everybody doing their own thing and then still can work together. We're like, okay, cool, you open it up. I love you guys regardless. Let's do something. Let's make money together. Even if it doesn't make money, it's fuck it. Let's just do it. That's a lot of attitude here in the craft beer. Robert speaks that way a lot too about just doing stuff. Like, let's do it. Have fun with it.
It's beer, man. It's beer. It's fun. If you're gonna be a shithead, about beer, don't be in beer. Just
In the wrong industry.
Yeah, the wrong industry. It's just,
Yeah, I love collabs. I don't really view it as a way to make money or anything like that, but it's just it's fun to brew beer and hang out with friends.
build relationships and just hang out.
Yeah.
And I think, at the end of the day, if you don't even worry about it, it still happens. Like you're marketing, you're doing this and that. But yeah, the best part is you're hanging out, having beers, and making
It's
good
a
money.
little bit selfish.
And
Really.
from the
Yeah.
from the business side of it, there's so much collab, or there's so much hype about collaborations. As it is, people it's because you may never see that again. You mean that beer is just like you said, it's just have fun. Hey, let's brew this kick-ass beer. Boom. You never see it again. So people really want to get their hands on that. So when you tag two kick-ass breweries together, 2 or 3 together, people are like, hell yeah, let me go get some of that. So there's that hype around it, and they want the same thing. Like, yeah, I want to be with friends. I want to be with all these people, these great breweries. That are just having fun with it. So there's that part of it from the business side, but it ties right into it. So I don't look at it as like, oh yeah, I need to get that so I can ship it off, whatever. It's like I just want to go drink that beer because I love the people who put it together. This is
Sneaking up on me.
he's like, it's warm in here. Did you turn that heater on?
After that last sip, I was like, man, this tastes like Tang. I remember when I was Tang. Only the astronauts drank Tang.
History lesson for you kids. History lesson.
Yep. Nobody even knows what Tang is.
The juice.
Yeah,
I know what
Tang
Tang
in the
is.
90s.
Yeah, had the,
I love Tang. It's the False Idol podcast for 2020. What is your dream beer? Like, if you could pick one, like, whatever beer you can make, what is the one you would like love to make? Return to Stag ×2.
It's probably like a lager. I bet.
Or is it a
I'm not
beer
gonna
that
answer for him.
you like to drink? It's like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a loaded question.
Okay, so you're on a desert island.
Yeah, you
have
get one beer.
brewing equipment.
You're going to
but
make
you
one
can
beer.
only have
Make
enough
one.
to brew one beer. What beer are you
That's a good question. There.
that's a
Keep that.
The Czech pills for sure.
I have a
Do
good
what?
name for it, Czech Pills.
Cool.
Yeah.
Don't say it.
I'm not gonna say it.
Don't say it.
Well, no one's gonna steal it.
They
I'll
might.
go out on top and we'll It's gone. We'll like throw it.
Here, I'll put a C for copyright.
Yeah, done. Like,
Broadway play, and then you come in here to the Craft and Growler. Is this the Craft and Growler?
That's right.
And you have your own craft beer.
Yeah, that's true.
How many people do you get coming to plays?
So that actually has increased now that we have food. So we're getting ready to make a big change for the food. So that's pretty exciting for us.
Oh, we're getting scoop.
Are we getting an announcement?
So
here?
actually,
Scoop.
today we had a meeting and we sampled out a bunch of different unique burgers that we're going to be putting on our menu, you know, to really kind of bump it up, you know, all solid. I mean, the chef he's got some fucking skills, so
Nice.
we're excited
Shout out
about
to
that.
Chef
So
Ty,
we're excited
Chef
about
Ty.
the idea of the concept. When you talk about Exposition Park, you know, we're with us here, our neighbors, you know, what they do, and you know, it's its own miniature little, you know, offset of Deep Ellum, you know, out of the way. But it's exciting, you know. So but we've been able to retain a lot of that now recently, actually, because it's just right across the street.
Yeah.
Pop in and
So close.
I know.
get some beer.
Unless you guys
I was
have
here
been
on
doing-
Wednesday, and I was here on Wednesday before the Winter Classic.
Wednesday
and
was
it
a
Just
shit
say
show.
all the winter classics and all that
jamming,
stuff.
jamming.
We got
So,
I didn't know there was a college hockey game.
that was Sunday, yeah. Texas A&M played over there, yeah. So they just utilized since they had the ice ready to go. They're like, let's see. I think I want to say some high school kids or something played in it also. So it just like I said, they just let people use it, you know. So which is cool. I mean, talk about badass venue, you know. You get to play a fucking hockey game in the Cotton Bowl, you know. That's
wild. In Texas.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, exactly.
it was wild.
Exactly.
The
But
thing was wild. 85,000 people went to that.
and it felt like we got a chunk of that in there. It
No,
was
I
a
saw
shit
pictures.
show.
It looked insane. It looked insane.
Yeah,
My
we
friend,
got-
shout out to my friend who texted me. He's like, "Hey, I know you know Robert. Tell him I'm leaving my card on file because I can't close out. I'm leaving." I'm like, "All right. I'm pretty sure I'll be there when you get there the next day."
Yeah, that was probably a bigger crowd than Texas OU. So wow, hockey people fucking drink.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
They-
So back to Will. Will, if you had to brew a beer
He
for
just
a hockey
answered
team,
it.
No, for hockey team.
what would you brew?
I don't know. What do hockey?
For a hockey game. Let's say for the
What do
fans
hockey-
who watch hockey.
what do
Well, let me
hockey
give this.
fans drink?
I will say this.
Oh, no.
I didn't. When it was like, hey, a bunch of hockey people are going to come down here, I didn't know what to expect. You know, when you take Texas OU, it's all about, you know, oh, you mean, what do you have this Coastal Miller Light? You know,
Yeah.
it's like, so we sling the fuck out of some light beers. Hockey, we were like, all right, we don't know what they're going to drink. They drank every style across the board.
Really?
It was,
They went everywhere.
They went
Yeah.
everywhere on style of beers, which was nice for us pouring beer. You know, we weren't all over on the light side of the board. You know, so I wouldn't know what to say to like, hey, brew this for hockey fans. Maybe an IPA just because it sits right in the middle. But they drank
What's the official
everything.
beer of hockey?
No,
No, there's a beer.
So, I mean,
It's
the reason
nasty.
it's good to know
Bad
is
Blue.
because
I feel like hockey places. I feel
that's
like
it.
hockey places are around
Blue.
so many
It's
like
Labatt Blue.
old
I'm
school
sure
breweries.
it's like most of
Labatt
it's,
Blue.
Yeah,
it's
Canadian.
Canadian.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Canadian.
Yeah, the festival.
the amateur. They have the amateur team.
yeah.
Isn't there like a Stars feeder team?
In Dallas, I think that you could
The-
find a specific beer for your Stars
There's a
fan
hockey-
base.
I know the guys who play there.
Same for your Mavs fan base.
No, maybe it's just
I
an
think you
amateur
could
league.
find something
It is
for
an
that,
amateur
but to
league.
put it in the general
It's
classification, I
it's
think
not a
would be.
feeder.
Oh, it's not even a feeder?
Because I feel like most
I
of
think
your
they used to
hockey
be.
towns are places where they have established breweries that are making, you know, great shit, year round versus, you know.
Because
Chicago.
they're
Exactly.
the
Chicago,
Stars that play out
New
of
York.
Frisco, I thought.
Yeah.
The Dallas or Texas Stars or whatever. out of
Yeah, they have that
Frisco.
other that
That's the
Dr.
one that
Pepper.
plays in. Is there a hockey team that plays in Allen?
Yeah.
The Americans.
The Americans.
They won their championship 3 years in a row.
I think
There's the Brahmas in Fort Worth.
Brahmas. Brahmas used to be in NRH though, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think they used to be in the
Anyway.
and then they made
I know what
the fourth convention
Me
center.
neither. Let's narrow this down. Do you watch movies at all? Have you ever seen a movie called Goon?
No.
Oh god.
Which
it's a
one?
horrible
Hockey movie. It's a
Oh,
hockey-
wait, is it
Oh,
Sean
the
William
Goon?
Sean
Scott?
William
Yeah.
Scott.
I
Maybe
did- I
the
saw the second one.
With
Is that the
Stifler?
second one?
I didn't see the first
Steph
one.
Meiser.
That's Stifler,
If you
right?
could make a beer for that movie, what beer would it be?
Come on, Will. Shit.
Will, showcase your talent.
I would.
Strawberry blonde.
I would make a. What makes sense? I can't go lager would probably make the most sense. But if we're getting exotic, I'd probably say like 4% hazy session IPA.
Hey, imagine the Goon
So
making a commercial for you.
because those dudes probably drink, right?
Hey,
They do.
So kind of helping them out by giving them something.
They need
You
painkillers.
think they're drinking, but it's low ABV.
and it's delicious.
Right.
And it's It's already right on par with what you're drinking already as it is. So more flavor.
Yeah. That's why I like it.
Which reminds me, I don't feel like there's session IPAs. I think have gone off the map for a while. Not seeing a lot of people
I've noticed that
making
too.
them.
Yeah.
But I think the new thing is like
Juicy
New
pale.
England style pale, exactly, or juicy pale ale. You know, give them the flavor, keep the ABV low. I think that's like, let's ride that. Because I always felt like session IPAs were just really dry. They always picked hop profiles that were just super dry, and it didn't have that juicy aspect to it. You know, like, oh, let's use Calypso hops or something like that. It's like, that's gonna dry my ass out, you know. But I feel like a juicy.
No, you're not into Calypso, I guess.
I don't mind it. I just if it's like that's
want
just
his ass
it.
to be
It's just
dry.
this is
No,
dry.
yeah.
Just like, don't let it be the.
It's like I don't want to eat a cracker when I'm drinking this fucking beer.
No, I don't know. That's a good question about the next style. You think sessionable pale ales is gonna be the next big
I
trend?
mean, I just think that's
No,
a
it's-
style that people can do. You know, it's like break up the New England IPAs and give them a juicy pale ale. You know,
Yeah.
like have that be part of the mix also. You know.
No, I don't. I know, it's funny you say that because I don't want to jump the gun and distract from the beer that's coming out now. But our next beer coming to market is going to be a hazy pale ale.
I think that fits right in there what people want. Because you think about
smart. He
like,
knows
for
what he's
example,
doing.
I go fire up the smoker. I want to drink something crushable. If you give me a pale ale that's juicy, that's sessionable at the same time, you
Not
know.
gonna dry his ass
It's
out.
not
Yeah,
gonna
no
dry
good.
my ass
Don't
out.
dry his ass out.
Damn it.
I'm gonna drink the shit out of that. You know?
Dry my ass out.
Don't.
So when we gonna
Name of the new
beer.
Won't
dry my
dry
ass.
your ass out.
Now you know you need to make like a really you need to make like one of those really shitty YouTube commercials, you know. Chicken and waffles. What would that do? It's gotta be won't dry your ass out. You know?
This would be juicy ass beer.
Juicy ass. Ain't
Juicy
won't
ass
dry your
beer.
ass out.
When is Tyler gonna buy you a smoker for this place?
I've been asking. I think he's this close to doing it.
I
So.
say do it. Buy a
This-
smoker over here
this
ready.
close to doing it. So
You and Chef Ty in the back making all the delicious food.
I'm telling you, man.
Shout out to Chef Ty too for making delicious burgers. I didn't eat dinner so I could come in here and eat. I forgot to
I
put
didn't
clothes.
eat dinner. It sounds like you ate dinner. What'd you have? A chicken wing?
I know.
I did eat dinner.
He chugged that
I
beer.
swear I did. I
He
did.
had a beer about nothing for dinner.
Yeah, I did.
And now he's having a beer about nothing
We'll
for
get you some
dessert.
pub mix. We'll need some pub mix. I got you.
Nah,
Puppy mix.
I'm gonna go get me some Mickey
Some
D's.
puppy chow?
Mickey D's.
Mickey D's. Get on Mickey D's.
Now we can go get $12 buffet. Sound like a Chinese food to feed
Yeah.
30.
Yeah.
Bro, they don't do it like that no more. They fucking changed up on us, bro.
It's still good. I go for some.
Fair enough. But I think, great brewers like Will making great beer is gonna help.
All right, calm down.
Great events that Dom is gonna try to figure out. The whole team's gonna try to figure out how to do fun things to get people in the neighborhood to come hang out. People travel to go hang out there. Having great partners nearby. Even though they don't directly work with you, just because they're working hard too, lends to people traveling to that location.
Oh yeah. Most recently in Oklahoma City, where I was brewing at, oftentimes people would come in, they'd hang out a little bit at the bar, and they'd say, "Are there any other good breweries around town?" We had like 2 or 3 breweries that were really close. We'd always send them there, and then they did the same thing for us because we're all friends.
Yeah.
And we'll be doing the same thing at False Idol. Like, oh yeah, go check out Brutal, go check out Turning Point. They're great, and they're close.
Were you with those guys when they were at the Brewers Union?
I was, yeah.
And then expansion outside of after that.
I'm impressed. You know the Brewers Union. Yeah.
Brewers is solid. I think I wish that's something. I mean, I feel like we see a little miniature version of like the old Grapevine Brewery, as far as just people brewing under the same roof.
Yeah.
Utilizing
Yeah.
that facility before they
Yeah.
get out. I mean, you talk about Manhattan Project and getting beer out into the public before they're even set up. The same way you guys getting beer out, getting out into the project. Exactly, but I think that's such a great concept. To have those people under their roof. And to be accustomed to be around other people who have different visions of beer and that type of stuff. And to work on their craft before they grow out of that. So yeah, I thought the Brewers Union was I thought it was kick ass to have that in Oklahoma City. So that'd be awesome to see something like that here if
Yeah.
it's possible.
Yeah, well, who knows? Maybe the laws will loosen up a little bit. Maybe something will happen.
I hope so. I just like fun collaborations, like I said, just having great neighbors nearby, be like, oh, go check out them out, and then vice versa. I know Turnpike will do the same thing, and Brutal will do the same thing. It's just great to have. It's great when you have people around you doing great things too that spark fun rivalry, fun collaborations, and then foster a community of like, oh, this is a great spot to drink beer because there's a bunch of great things around here to drink beer, you know. And that helps. So what Robert was asking about bringing people to the craft beer thing, because if you go to this one spot that's fun, you can check out more spots.
Oh yeah, and like I guarantee there's going to be some person that comes into False Idol because they live in the neighborhood behind us, and they strike up a conversation with the bartender, and they say, oh, well, you know, there's another brewery right down the road, and another brewery just down the highway, and they're not gonna have any clue. Because like to us, this is all commonplace, but so many people aren't plugged into the craft beer thing because they're not really into beer yet.
Like Larry.
Larry, you guys are gonna make a drunk out of Larry.
Yeah, Larry told us he used to homebrew too.
Shit.
Yeah.
Y'all got now you know
We
you
don't
have to do a
have
beer with
technically
Larry,
the biggest
right?
homebrew in the States. Like, a lot of people homebrew here.
Larry's Boots Juice. What are you gonna do?
Isn't there isn't there a homebrew fest in Deep Ellum?
That needs to
Bubblegum.
be.
A bunch of homebrew fest over there.
That
Yeah.
needs
Oh
to
really?
Yeah,
I'm
for like,
thinking of the one
No,
with
I'm
Brain
saying
Dead,
Big
or
Breeze
related to
Farm
Brain Dead.
collaboration.
no, you doing Deep Ellum, maybe bring it partner with it, but it's
completely like
got a
off
better
style.
smoke.
Labor
Labor
of
of
Love.
Love.
It's
Oh,
the big
I
one,
wanna smoke
Deep Ellum.
today.
Okay.
The biggest one.
Isn't there a festival?
Festival is their anniversary.
Oh, that's not a homebrew fest?
No.
Okay,
It's not their
I'm
anniversary.
thinking of Labor
Labor
of
Love
Love.
anniversary?
No,
Oh, okay.
Brew Ha Ha is another homebrew festival. There's like another two that I'm missing. Labor Love.
Labor Love is
Labor
not
Love
right,
and
baby.
Labor Love and Deep
No, Tap had their own homebrew festival kind of competition. They had over their Tap handle there. XL Project, yeah, they had they called the White Rabbit competition, and winner of that White Rabbit gets a Tap handle on.
Well, that's right.
XL
They got to do a
Project.
collab with them, right?
Yeah. But there's a lot of like smaller things like that happen a lot out here. Homebrew is really big. Martin
Well,
House.
and Blue Bonnet's here, right?
What?
That's a pretty
I
big.
know, I
Like,
don't even know.
a lot of people are driving down from Blue Bonnet.
Yeah.
It's like a pretty big competition.
Someone's been saying something unknowable because they need these drinks.
I was just laughing at the sticker.
Which one?
The wolf on the
full
tap
size?
sticker.
Who did
slapped
that?
that?
It wasn't me.
I'm gonna put my
I
sticker.
think it
over-
was Jacob actually.
I'm sure it probably
Probably
was.
was.
Yeah, probably was.
I put my sticker over Raw.
Which sucks.
Rabbit Hole.
We're sending out the messages for all of the. We're gonna do another International Women's Day, which is a fucking blowout.
We don't want to
now.
come back. Like,
But
me.
Jacob made that fun. That was really fun with him there. So I thought about it. I was like, man, it kind of sucks that we don't have Jacob to do that with. But
Get the-
Well, I mean, you
have
can
him
just
for Jim Beam sponsorship.
yeah, just have it.
probably should.
You
Samples.
know he would.
Samples.
You know he would.
Samples in a bar.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Jacob works for Jim Beam. They have barrels out.
damn, you could get some.
I
That's
guess you haven't heard the story. Yeah.
No.
They lost a lot of barrels that
We're
are
getting
fired.
barrels. No, they didn't. That was like 1% or something.
Are they the ones that
Are you talking
They're
about
giving us the barrels.
old bar or no, 1492? I think it was, or the company who owns 1492 with the brick house collapse. Yeah, yeah, that was nuts. And then something else happened. There's a second one that collapsed too, wasn't it?
That was a treasure.
third one I saw it is
A lot of swill
Oh,
in
there's
there.
just barrels and piles.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
I'm thinking,
Someone's
oh
knocking
my
on the
god,
door.
all the barrel aging you could do with the I didn't even think of the whiskey.
I was.
I was thinking about the bourbon.
It was real sad.
That's my go-to. Like I go home normally on a normal night, get my small glass, put some ice in there, put my makers in there,
Nice.
start cooking dinner. By the time my dinner's done, my drink is ready to drink, and I set that for dinner.
Pappy's
Yeah.
out. Place I go to has Pappy 10, 12, 15, and 20.
Kelly's has 10, 15, and 20.
10, 12, 15, and 20.
How much is it for?
35, 45.
Yeah, you lost me at 35.
We're talking about bourbon. It gets a little rough.
I love bourbon. We can do a bourbon podcast with cigars.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, you should come to that one.
Bourbon
okay.
podcast cigars.
Anytime we do the cigar one, it's
Dude,
bourbon,
yeah.
beer, it's always good beer. I always bring like something good out of the cellar, and then we have bourbon and we drink and we smoke cigars.
I love
TFTI.
It's not
Bourbon and scotch.
It's not as like beer centric. It's more just kind of like
Hanging out.
Shit.
Cellar.
The
you
what?
can always find something good.
He only has like 20 beers in his cellar now.
All I have is
You only have like 20 in your cellar
Pretty
now?
much.
He's been giving a lot of his beers away and drinking them.
Well, 12 that don't count. So like I think I have like 12, a combination of 12 beers that are like Dogfish Head Worldwide Stout and 120, which I don't even want to touch those for years.
How old is the worldwide stuff?
One of them's a 14, one of them is a 18, and then the 120s are like 14 to 19.
I go to Kelly's every Friday, and I have a group of friends that meet me there, and I bring something. I bring 3 bottles from my cellar to clear it out. It doesn't seem like it's making a dent.
Well,
Did you see the doctor said is gonna age worldwide stout Utopia Sparrows?
not Worldwide Stout. I thought it was.
No, it was Worldwide Stout.
It was Worldwide
Yeah,
Stout.
Utopia's
I just
Worldwide
bought
Stout.
the 5.
I guess I didn't even read the thing. I just saw Utopias and Dogfish, and I was like, I don't want that. It sounds
Yeah,
awesome.
I
If
know.
you ever want to
Yeah.
sponsor Beer of the Week on that song, Beer Week and Update, Beer Week and Update again this week. If you don't want to sponsor Beer of the Week, you can hand us a beer and be Beer of the Week. We'll shout you out. False title.
Done. Do it.
I think I have 7-year-old parabolas. I have.
I don't even know what that is.
What?
Really?
What?
I just started drinking beer since 3 years ago.
Carson Walker Parabolas been
Parabolas
around,
still out.
and they've had it here 3 times.
I don't drink beer.
Have you had Parabola before?
Parabola.
I have a.
Does anybody remember Abacus?
Yep.
You mean-
We've had it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have it.
Like having the Abacus bottle.
the
Well,
bottle
Sucaba's
for
around
Abacus.
still, but like the first.
I thought they discontinued it, did they not?
No, so
Yeah, they
Abacus was
renamed it
was
Sukaba.
Well,
batch
I
one.
know they switched to Sukaba,
It
but
was
I
only
thought-
batch one.
You guys
was
have control
Abacus.
this. I'll be
Yeah.
back.
But we actually have had the bottle that was Abacus.
Right.
Yeah. That's an awesome bottle.
Yeah.
Man, what was it?
that?
20,
Asshole.
A what?
20,
lager?
All stat
We
lager.
could have just called it False Idol Lager.
False idol lager. This is
like-
like check.
I actually like
Blank
it.
check?
You need to try that.
They won a gold at GABF.
Allstat's
Watch
really
out.
solid. It's a bunch of German stuff.
What is it? A Texas brewery?
Yeah.
They are the Fredericksburg.
What's the one you guys?
Super clean.
Yeah, hangover.
Oh yeah, he gets
For
mad
the
because
Colts and their lager, they won.
every time they go to
Golds.
Hops and Pies, they go, "What should I get?" And like, I always pick like a bunch of like serious ones, like 21, you know, 7, 3, you know, and then there's always number 21 or 41 or whatever. It's the beer stock.
So forth.
Yep, and they always have it. And I'm like, and I always say that number, and they're like, "Why do you always say that? You're an idiot." And I'm like, "It's good." And they're like, "We don't." And they never even drink it.
It's so.
Because when we went there,
So my
I drank that. They're like, "Why are you drinking
Oh
that?" I was
my
like, "It's
gosh.
good."
On my
And they think I'm
Thursdays,
just
they have like
hungover.
$3 slow pours. Just go get obliterated on slow pours.
when I go to
Where?
GABF, right? I always meet my buddy from Seattle.
Okay.
And so I fly in 6 a.m. on Wednesday, hit the airport at 7, pick him up, we have breakfast, and then straight to Wellworks in Greeley.
Oh my gosh, dude, you go all the way to Wellwork?
Oh yeah,
Oh, it's so far.
it is so worth it.
I think it's a car and all
I
that.
got a car.
Yeah,
We're good.
oh,
It's,
man.
it's the best brewery in the state, I think.
which one?
So, Wellworks.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So,
Generous, but yes, they're good.
so then
I like the.
he usually drinks too much because he
Your
does.
friend?
Yeah, he does. He ends up doing stupid shit
They
like
do like crazy bottle
stopping
shares.
at the hotel bar and he has like a glass of wine and a martini. After we just did the IPA challenge at
It's not a challenge.
I like to think of it as
The
a
IPA Roadshow.
whatever. It's a
Slash challenge. Let the man live.
I don't think it's a
challenge.
well. It's a challenge because one time we went and they were like, "All right, we got double or sip of sunshine, come get it," and like everyone's grabbing stuff, and so like he's like, "Wow, I'm my own," so he gets his own, and then they go, "All right, double sunshine," and he's like coming back, he's like, "Okay," so he had like 6 beers for himself. The next morning, he's like, I don't want to wake up. And so we had to go pick up my buddy Josh, and he's like, "I'll just drive you guys, and I'll pick him up." And then I was like, "So are you gonna come out?" He's like, The blinds were closed, the lights were off, the AC was on like 60. He was just like,
That's how you do it.
he
you
took a
know?
shower. He's like, "I'm going back to bed." He was just like in bed, so his whole Thursday was gone.
Oh no.
That's like straight. Like if you're a dude and you're
But
at
I
a
still have
hotel.
Friday, Saturday.
But he was in Denver for GABF, so he wasted a whole day.
Yeah. But I was.
He recovered though.
You can't go too hard the first day. That's rule number
But
one.
Wednesday, that's our best day though. Wednesday is the funnest day because we
Should I go
go
to
to
JBF?
yeah.
So my dumb
should
friend
listen then.
from Seattle, he got there early this year. He got there Tuesday afternoon.
Okay.
And he just did stupid shit all evening Tuesday. Drank Legion, I did the martini and the wine. Plus he did all kinds of other crazy beer. He went falling rock, drank too much. I pick him up Saturday, he's working.
And he's like crying, "I'm never gonna drink
Yeah.
again."
So he has to drink that.
No, and then so he tells us this. He tells us the backstory. He's like, he's hammered, like, or he's hungover, and he feels like shit. And we're like, me and my little brother. I'm like, I'm pretty sure they have those IV clinics.
IVs.
The Hangover.
Oh, they
headband
do
places.
have those.
And
yeah.
so my brother found the address, pulls it up, sends it to him. He's like, he's like, hey, let's go. We'll take you here. You'll feel better. I was like, well, that's your fault.
Cost is not an object of Sebastian.
Yeah, I was like,
I've
it's
heard
like
that those are
$100
actually
for
pretty
3
legit.
sessions. Yeah,
That
they
guy-
work because my brother's the older
It's
one.
like rehydrate you like instantly, right?
I mean, if Sebastian can afford it. I mean, that guy, he'll send you a 12-bottle shipper overnight from Seattle.
Because he doesn't want it to freeze or something. I don't even know. Which is like
It's like a
$300.
$200
Crazy.
shipping rate.
Oh my
Yeah, it's like
God.
sending yeast. Yeah.
$40 worth of beer.
It's exactly like sending yeast.
All I know about this is I miss
couple of
working for the
veneers.
hospital and getting IV drips. Like
What?
talking to the nurse. I used to work for the hospital.
No. What was the last
Why
part
would you get
said?
IV drips?
You get IV hookups? Is that what you're saying?
That's
used to.
what those places
I
are.
used to.
That's what they are, yeah.
Basically,
Is
it's,
that a thing that people in the biz
Did you just do it at the house? Could you just do it at home?
no, I did it at the hospital. I
That's
did it.
so
in the-
weird. Why would you do that?
hungover. I gotta go to work at the hospital.
Have you seen
Oh.
Billions? The show Billions? They do it in
No, they would do it for him. He didn't do it.
Yeah.
Well, no, I didn't.
and
I
it's
didn't,
highly. It's first of all,
That's
I didn't know it was
it's
a.
highly illegal. Nurses shouldn't be doing that to staff members on site.
I didn't know that was like a thing.
That's a liability,
Like-
you know.
It's a liability thing, but it's also just like the minerals you need and saline that you want in your body that rehydrate your body. So you just get it in
Feel
your.
yourself come to life.
And they can throw other things in there. They can throw like
Morphine.
no.
No, you don't want morphine. No,
I used to do
There's like a mix.
I mean, they could though, right?
So I used to do triathlons, and I did one in Lubbock. It's a half Ironman.
Oh wow.
Holy
So it's
smokes.
like 56, 1.2 swim, 56 on the bike, and 13.1 on the run. And when I came in, my shorts are all like white
This one you
from sweat.
Oh,
And they're like,
yeah.
"Oh, you? No, you come with us." So they made me go with the doctor tent. When I'm done, I'm okay. I thought I was all right.
Oh, this is the end of the race.
It was the end of the race. When I crossed the finish line, they said, "Come here." And they gave me 2 IVs. Man, those things work so well.
It wasn't the Lubbock one.
I could run this shit.
That was the Lubbock
Oh, that was the Lubbock one.
Yeah. All I know about this is,
Dom was waiting for me.
no matter what you think you can
That's
do
crazy.
for
Me,
your
I mean,
body, like no matter what you think you do for like hangover cures,
what
prevent it
Angry Brewer
and drink it, nothing's more direct than an IV with the minerals your body needs directly into your bloodstream. Helps your kidneys, helps your liver,
Oh, it's
helps
so good.
everything and your the fluid in your spine immediately, and just brings you back to life like instantaneously. So no matter what hangover I had, I just call any of my nurses friends for a hookup. Like, who's working today? Who's on staff? And I was like, oh, I know her. Yo, listen, I need a hookup. I got you.
That's crazy.
And I'll sneak into the break room.
New York, I got you.
Yeah.
And then I'll get a hookup, and I just be there for 30 minutes.
about it.
And
Forget
then,
about it.
listen, I do whatever I can to make it work. Because I'd rather take my PTO for vacation than fucking sick day.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Sick day. It's
Yeah.
not even a sick day because you're not sick. That's your fault.
Yeah, no, it's sick day. Alcohol and poison, and it poisoned me, and it
That
got me.
is not
I
sick.
lost the battle.
That's not
You gotta
PTO.
call him with anal glaucoma, and they're like, "What's that?" Like, I can't see my ass coming into work.
Especially if it's dry.
That's right.
Yeah, but dry ass.
Dry my ass out.
No, god damn it. That's
Damn it,
hilarious.
Calypso.
Fuck you, Calypso Hops.
Dry ass.
God.
There's a
That
reason why
it
I'm
has to be a
saying
name.
that.
It has to be a name.
It has
There
to
was
be
a
dry
brewery
ass.
that made one that was like, ugh.
So wait. We were talking about GBF earlier. No, we're about to be finished. We were talking about GBF earlier.
It's fine.
Outside of GBF, what's another go-to festival like everybody's looking forward to
I
for
think I
2020?
might go to Beer Zombies.
Actually, I don't even go to JBF.
Wait, what's the one in San Antonio that's upcoming?
CBC.
It's not really a festival.
It's just a beer convention.
It's like an it's like an entry
Yeah.
convention.
It's for like
Yeah, what the
guys
fun?
going?
What the funk?
What the fun?
Where is that at?
I haven't bought tickets for it.
I don't think what the funk is.
Yeah, we need to
It's
go.
in Denver. Cricket State puts it on.
Yeah,
That's during JBF. though.
Yeah, it's GBF week. I
during
think it's
JBF
Thursday
week. But then
You've never even been to What the Funk.
Well, he was asking.
I was like, what are you looking forward to? He said, what the fuck?
But you haven't been, so how would you look forward to it?
I don't look forward to it.
He's not looking forward to it, so I don't know why he's telling you that.
He asked what good things
Yeah,
are.
too much
and
water.
Cameron.
Too
said-
much water, too much chugging water.
There's one called Savor that I want to
The
go
one
to
thing I
this
look
year.
forward to
There's
is
so many
at the
bars
Following
there
Rock
are
on
supposed to
Wednesday
be
night.
sweet.
They have the
Yeah.
IPA
They're great
challenge,
things,
and they do
Savor
call it
does a lot
challenge.
of the food
They have
and beer
22
pairings
IPAs
Yeah,
from
that's
around
really
the nation.
show. So I want to try
Anywhere.
and go to that.
Any
I
state.
love my house.
They have them there on tap.
Food
You get
Oh yeah, I hear good
You
things.
smoke some badass
10-ounce
brisket.
glass,
Oh.
and you get 6 tickets.
Nice.
Just go.
2 days. You can
So
submit
one
beer
year,
for
like Don was saying, they had Lost and
Put this
Fine
Serve
beer?
Double Sunshine.
Savor.
He blew first,
Where is it?
and then right behind it, they brought in Double Sunshine.
Yeah, that's you felt Trevor.
Deadline's Wednesday.
You can apply to
Yeah.
get selected.
And they like select.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you don't get invited.
Well, you get
do
invited. You get
You can't just sign up. and
yeah.
serve there.
You get selected. Like you send your stuff in and you get selected.
What do you have to serve then?
You do the application by Wednesday, and then I think by next. I don't know. I'd have to look at
Oh,
it again.
yeah, you do.
Then you send the beer in
What are we talking
another
about?
day.
We're sending your ass if you want to.
Washington D.C.
Okay.
If it works.
CBS?
No, somewhere else.
Savor. It's called Savor. So
Well,
like
if
a
you guys
big
do any festivals that you want me
beer
to
and
cover
food
as far
pairing
as footage,
festival
just let me
in
know.
DC.
I'll travel with you guys, and I'll just cover footage for you guys.
Well, then you should get a ticket next month. I think Chris talked me into going to Beer Zombies
Yeah.
Where is it? Is that in
Big
LA?
one?
Oh, that's the Vegas
in
one.
Vegas.
When is
I
that?
think I've been trying to talk him to going to Wake Fest,
I want to go to
but he doesn't want to go.
The last one was a shit show, wasn't it?
I want to go to Food or
I can go anywhere I want to go.
Hey, he's a
Go.
grown man.
I'm a grown ass
That's in
man.
Miami.
Yeah. I want to go to Wake Fest.
Where's
too.
that?
So last year,
Food
we
for
had
thought.
A lot of people
we had a
last
bottle
year,
share.
Wake Fest.
I don't know. I
Somebody
heard it's
brought
awesome.
up,
But I heard they pissed
Even
off
with
a lot.
general
Daniel
admission, I heard it's
Strings,
awesome. Well, it pisses
stouts
off people that want the
from
bottles.
Wake Fest.
I want my bottles. I'm like, well, you
Fucking awesome.
get VIP and then you get the bottles. If you don't want VIP, then you're not gonna get the bottles. That's how it works. So
Well,
that's
well,
why they piss people off.
What I'm talking about is like whatever footage you want me to cover, I'll just cover you guys hanging out. And when travel, I'll travel with you guys. So you said next month is the bottle destination?
No, it's not bottled. It's just Beer Zombie. It's
Beer
their,
Zombies.
it's their festival.
Is that in
Yeah.
Vegas?
He wants us to have a booth there. He's still like he was even bugging me about it now.
You said
He's
next month.
I say do it, man. That's good.
We have two couple things we'd have to go through. Colas to TTB, and then which I've been trying to get. I've been trying to get that set up for months, and then they'd have to sign us with a distributor in Vegas. Plus, I don't know how much beer we would have. But I mean, I'd rather.
Are we still in the cut this out thing?
Yeah.
I assume. We can solve that shit for them.
It's true.
Don't they have a festival during Raider season?
That's a good point.
Yeah. Why don't we just?
I just want to be there because I want to do a Raider beer.
I know you do.
I talked to fucking Chris.
Calls it David
I
Cobb.
even go. I got a beer farm. He's down. Like I'm down. I was like
you
my
Raiders
logo,
fan
your
too?
logo, and beer farm. Like, what do you think about it? We'll do like the Raider shield. We'll do this and that.
I've been
He's like,
to-
I'm an
Is
Eagles
that gonna
fan. I
affect you?
can't. I was like, you bastard. What?
They're moving.
No,
We don't live there anyway.
I never lived
Well,
in
it's
Oakland.
true, but
Oakland.
We went to the game. It's scary there.
Coliseum.
I've heard of
Shit.
Oakland.
you guys act like
Oakland's,
some like some West Coast Texas Mexicans, Chicanos, where they're like, oh,
Hey,
they're
hey,
like,
they're
Raiders,
either
like,
they're
you ain't
Raiders
even
or
from
Cowboys
there. How
fans
the
in El
fuck are you
Paso.
Raiders fan?
You're
a
either
49ers
you're
fan.
either a
How
Raiders
you a
fan or
49ers
you're
fan?
a
You grew up
Cowboys
in
fan
West
there.
Texas.
Mexicans love Raiders.
The only reason our
Mexico
my
City
brothers
is
are Niners fans is because
The
they play
West
with
Texas.
Steelers.
No, it's not all
Raiders,
red.
like-
Mexico
Yeah,
City's
dude,
Cowboys
My
too.
brother-in-law
Oxnard, where you from,
grew up in
man?
Bozeman, Montana.
You're Mexican.
Yeah,
You
one
loves
cousin-
the Longhorns.
one cousin-
Mexican. You like the
Oxnard.
Raiders or you like the Cowboys.
That's
It's
it,
either
that's
one.
what-
It's heads or tails.
Just none of
Wait,
that
wait,
makes
let's
sense.
wrap. Let's bring this podcast to
yeah.
a close. Let's bring this podcast. We're about to right now.
I was just edited back in. Okay, ready?
Yeah. Okay.
Cut.
Now
Yeah.
and
Action.
action.
We're gonna edit a few things back in. Do this conversation. Not that part about that. Make sure we don't talk about that. But are we still gonna do the cups for the metal tin cups
Yep.
collab? I'm looking forward to that because I need a new one. I swear to God, I need a
No,
new
you
one.
lost it.
I did. I lost at Observerfest. I have the footage where I left it.
Tin cup.
My tin cup from Denton County. The young lady was threw my keys at me at their booth. She's like, "You left your fucking keys." But in this video,
This is the wrap up.
it's the wrap up. It's the wrap up for real.
That's this.
Wrap
Yeah.
up, take two.
No, I'm keeping that in. I'm keeping all of that in. Young lady in the video, you can hear her say keys, then I cut the video feed off. It's I shotgun a beer at Observerfest, and I put all my stuff down on somebody else's booth.
Have you ever noticed how every bad ending story starts with chugging a beer?
Or shotgunning.
Shotgun a beer, yeah. Well, I learned how to
Thanks,
shotgun.
Dom. Appreciate it, Dom.
Well, I learned how to shotgun.
I wasn't even with him.
I mean, no, he wasn't with me. I was a grown man. I put myself in that position, but I had a DD. That's all that matters.
You brought chugging back.
He did, but shotgun. I learned how to shotgun at Observerfest.
This
I
one?
was with you.
Yeah.
This one?
I fucking told you.
No, last
the year
one,
before,
at the
20
Kylan's booth.
Oh,
He's over
okay.
here. He's got his phone, and he's somehow kept it on. So it's me, him, Darren,
Was it Matt?
and Brad.
Brad.
And we're just all looking at it, like, we're like, oh, let's do it. We're like popping, and we're like, how you gonna do it? He's like, I don't know. He's like, I gotta keep this recording. So he keeps somehow I guess we pop his.
Yeah,
And
no, you
someone
popped.
else-
I couldn't do my finger, and I just did.
Well, I always have the shotgun key.
and I just did the clip, and I chugged it that way.
But yeah, I guess I didn't know that was your first one.
That was my first one. I learned how to do it there. I never.
So,
Yeah, he did one, and he said he'll never do one again because it was like.
well,
so
You also did a sculpin.
hey,
He did a sculpin.
next time we gotta get the blowhole trick on him.
what's the blowhole?
Okay.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
done.
Fair.
I also did 3 Juggernaut challenges because he did a video one day, and I did it. I did 2. The third one I didn't make it.
Did you get
so
it
I
in
posted
21?
I did it in 27 seconds both times.
Okay, well that's not 21.
No, I thought it was 30 seconds.
Oh, is it there? Okay.
You know, none of his
30
count because he wasn't in the group yet.
Oh, okay.
Have you
Yeah,
shotgun
he kept
a, wait, have you shotgun a Lone Star since you lived in Texas though?
No, never have.
Damn.
I didn't drink beer until I moved to Texas.
I know.
I didn't start
So the
drinking beer
first time I
until
told you the first time. Well, I thought this was the outro. What are you doing?
This is the outro. We can talk about this.
Okay.
The first time you met me, I was drinking beer Rita.
And I was sitting at a damn milk carton because y'all wouldn't let me into the podcast.
The burrito story was in the last podcast.
So for
You can't keep talking about that damn burrito because you stopped drinking them.
the fans of
You
the
only
show,
eat burritos.
Those Bud Light beer.
Yeah.
the fans
It
of
was
the
a
show
live
know I
burrito.
repeat myself a lot. And unfortunately, I'm an alcoholic, so I repeat myself in the same stories over and over again. I'm like that old dad who keeps drinking and tell the same story. Yeah, beer Rita, I chugged beer Rita, but I didn't like beer when I first started drinking beer. And thanks to Dom and a bunch of people here, I fell in love with the beer community. I got the chance to meet you and your phenomenal beers you make. Papa Dom over here, always bringing phenomenal beers, hanging out with us. I got a chance to meet Robert. Robert didn't know me from a hole in the wall. We were getting kicked out of our station because I wanted a break to connect with the beer community, and I asked him for a favor. And I've been coming to Craft and Growls ever since from a hole in the wall because he's a fucking great guy.
There's some guys like, oh, the studio kicked us out. We need
No,
someone
it
to
wasn't.
record. And you're like,
Well,
all right, man, it's okay.
no, what happened was the studio. Long story short, on the back end of it, and I'm screwed for the studio.
Impossible.
The back end.
Impossible.
The back end of this. I asked the studio for a month break because we recorded for almost 2.5 years nonstop, and I was like, I want to take a month off, and I want to connect with the beer community because we talk craft beer, but I don't know anybody, so I want to take a month to connect and actually meet people. And they're like, all right, cool. You can take the month off. They gave us a month off, but then the week of, right before we were gonna take the month off, they're like, okay, we're gonna double your price when you come back. And I'm like, no. And
To be honest, to that point, I've been in places. I've been in podcasts in there, actually in a podcast, not just sitting on the milk carton. And then like in the ones where we're like out at bars or breweries, you get a lot more human factors. Like people are themselves when you're this.
Well,
When
thank
you're
you.
in that, it's kind of like
It's weird.
really sterile.
Yeah, I've been in the one too, right by the design district, and it's a completely different setting.
being in the studio is different. I like this, and it's all thanks to Robert for being a friend of craft beer. And,
Yeah.
saying like, hey, the ritual was just we're gonna do 2 weeks here, and then that became a staple of just being here recording a live podcast.
Brings people in, people that
Hey,
all friends that we're friends with. So it's nothing off our shoulders. Just
no,
Come
bro.
on.
This,
calm down.
and long story short, on this long ass outro, guys, is first of all, thank you for watching. I repeat myself a lot, but this whole show is about False Idol. We're super excited about False Idol opening. Thank you for introducing us to your phenomenal beers all the time. We look forward for everything we're gonna do in the future.
It's gonna be a fun beer to sell.
It's gonna be a great beer to sell, and everything you do in the future, no matter what you do, I am looking forward to it. I want to see some risk you might want to take. I'm intrigued. You like making beer, and I want to see your journey on it. Papa Dom, thank you for always hanging out. Dom, always thanks for inviting us out to these things. And Mr. Noble Ray yourself.
Brendan.
Brendan?
Yeah, Brendan.
No, Mr. Noble Ray, I appreciate you always hanging out, and also the beer community. Anyway, this is all family. A lot of shit talking here throughout the episode. Some we couldn't keep in, some we kept in, but it was just all fun because it's family. Follow False Idol on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Follow Craft and Growlers on Facebook, Twitter, Untapped, and Instagram as well.
We're on Untapped too. They don't have Untapped.
Yeah, they have
Certified
Untapped.
Untapped.
Menus. They have menus. All right. Check the
Anyway,
menus.
False Idol on False Idol on
Yeah, check
Untapped
in
as
there
well.
even if you're not there.
But just follow all my friends. These guys are phenomenal. Looking forward to the opening. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. And also future events, hanging out, drinking. Peace. As they talk shit to me. They on mic. They on mic. Peace, guys. Thank you. Get out of here, friends.